Hello everyone. I'm putting this up here just to show YouTube that I am operating within the guidelines of fair use, which allows to use segments of material I do not own the rights for in order to criticize and express an opinion. Just as any democratic, free speech supporting platform would do. I'm not going to make any money out of this, and everything I upload here will be for the sole purpose of reviewing, critique, and expressing opinions about what's going on and what went on the Fully Living channel. Thank you. Hello, everyone. There is no way this video can go by without me talking about it. Absolutely no way. Welcome to my new video. Why I think this family is lying big time. So this video is called What Homeschool Looks Like for a 6-year-old. It was published on January 20th. And let's read together what Andrea writes here. So we homeschool our son and daughter, and it's been an amazing experience for everyone. They learn a lot, we learn a lot, and they still get to play with kids on downtime, not in a study time. This allows for them to concentrate on their work without having to look cool or deal with the stressors of going to school. Hanging out on the weekends and evenings at the park where they can interact and play is better than just sitting at a desk and not being able to talk while you're in class full of kids. Again, best of both worlds for our family. So let's talk about this first paragraph. This first paragraph sums up very clearly everything we've heard from Andrea since Raphael was a baby. She always said that she does not want to send her kids to school because they will become, quote, brats, unquote. Because obviously for her, children who go to school become somehow brats. But if they stay home under complete control of their parents, then they don't. Well, that's not really the reality we see in their home. Actually, they do have one child at least that is quite a brat. But let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about how this mother, in my opinion, has absolutely no ability to see her children as separate entities. So she has ideas and opinions that she probably got from school about school being a breeding house of brats. And I have a deep suspicion that when Andrea says brats, what she means is children with an opinion, children who know how to articulate what they think, what they want, children that may have a different way of looking at life. So basically, children who are autonomous, children who have a personality that is not merged with her own personality. That is a brat in Andrea's eyes, in my opinion. Plus, children who go to school will eventually have more knowledge than their parents, eventually. And for people who are convinced that they know everything, that is unacceptable. By limiting her children, isolating them, and causing them to be socially inept. So they have not and do not learn any social abilities. Now, I'm just going to talk about this paragraph a little bit more. So in this paragraph, we basically see the deepest ingrained beliefs of Andrea. This is what she believes about what school is. So for her, having kids at school is not about their education. It's not about their social abilities. It's not about broadening their horizons. It's not about teaching them how to cope in situations where it's all about controlling, having 100% control over every single bit of information that they encounter. So she is the number one regulator of how these kids will see the world. And this control is almost being God in a way, but what it does is that it poses no threat to the parent who is afraid of losing control. So basically the only thing the child is exposed to is what the parent wants him to be exposed to. So the rest of the world is out of limits. Life is out of limits. Everything that is not under complete control of one person, in this case, parent, is out of their reach. So that, in my opinion, is what Andrea is doing behind these lines. Now, before going back to the rest of that manifest that Andrea has come up with, I want to say and explain why I have this deep conviction that she is lying. Now, again, I don't have to say it again and again, but I just want to mention that I have no proof. This is my opinion as a private person. So, why do I think this is a bunch of lies? One, well, she's lied before. I mean, let's start with the EDS, okay? She has come on camera saying very, very openly and with no hesitation that she has been diagnosed with EDS. But then I had shown in one of the videos that the paper she was holding in her hand as proof actually said that she is undergoing tests to determine whether she has EDS or not. So it was said very specifically, suspected EDS. So that is a very blatant lie. I mean, you're going through a set of tests to get a definition of what you have. But then at the same time, you hold this paper up, it was in Hebrew, and she was sure nobody would be able to translate it. And then she says, I have been diagnosed with EDS. Lie number one. Then I can also mention, of course, all the clickbaits talking about worst stimming ever, total breakdown, autistic child going through meltdown, and then you watch the video and there is nothing there. One time there's a child who got hit in his chest at the playground and he is having difficulty breathing. The other one is just, actually, really, to be honest, nothing. So there's a lot of deception, in my opinion, going on those videos as well. Also have, when Abigail had those bruises and Andrea was quick to say she fell through a door, but then you see those bruises, I have a video about it, in several other videos from completely different days. Child who chronically falls through doors, or there is a lie going on. So, loads of deception, loads of what I call lies, so there's no reason to believe that anything that she says is a truth. So let's continue reading from line 4. And just go one by one and see why I believe everything here. In my opinion, personally, I think it's lies, one after the other. So let's start with the first one. They do go to school a few days a week, but we can do either or. And we have chosen to do special projects and extracurricular at school and do our assignments at home. Oh, can we get more information about that? Which school allows you to choose if you want to send your kids or not? Interesting. Now, as for the special projects and extracurricular at school and do our assignments at home, okay, don't you think that those kids would have mentioned by now one time, after 3 years in America, one time mention any curricular they got from school? Don't you think they would mention a school? Don't you think they would mention a teacher, homework, classmates, adventures, things they do at school? Even the word school does not come up. And we're talking about 3 whole years where this is supposed to be happening. So there is zero evidence that anyone in that home is going to any kind of school outside of the compound. Now let me remind you of the time that to much of Andrea's dissatisfaction and sadness, Raphael had to go to school because he was in Israel, and in Israel, school is mandatory. And she never stopped complaining about it, but she drilled him about what he did at school and what happened in school. Of course, trying to promote all kinds of negative experiences. There's a video where she says he was bullied at school. Then we listened to his story. Never happened, of course. She encouraged him to talk about school in the worst way possible, but she encouraged him to talk about school because there was a school. And now, he's been to school for...
Did somebody get smacked today?
No, there was one kid getting smacked all day.
By who?
Now, I can understand why some people would buy into that, but I don't, and I feel obligated to voice my disbelief here, because one day, I believe, one day, this will all come out. This story will come out. And there must be some kind of evidence, documented evidence. We need to remember this. Now, this video has gone on for 10 minutes, so I'm going to continue in the next video and going through that manifest and also through the latest video that they uploaded. Thank you.